Hey everybody, Seth here with Everyman Prepping. How's everybody doing today? It looks like we all survived the 5, 6, 7 CMEs that came at us last week. We did find that the magnetic field of the Earth is very weak. We had auroras going all the way down to Puerto Rico, which is a bad sign. They were red in color. And we're going to talk about, well, more X-class flares coming. We'll get into that in a little bit. In fact, I have a bunch of news stories I want to get through in this video. I was gathering late last night for a video today, and then more stuff just kept happening. So I threw it in here at the beginning. We're going to go through it really quick. So let's go ahead and get started by looking at some of my stuff I bookmarked here on my X account. And as we go through this, we'll just go through as fast as we can. But what here we have is we have Putin arriving in Beijing to talk with President Xi. They say, we're going to talk about, let's blow this up, you can stare at this. They say we're going to talk about trade and other stuff, but I got feeling it's more talk about war. Like, hey, Putin's probably saying, hey, China, when are you going to go after Taiwan? Because it'd be great if you could distract the world away from Ukraine, because I'm starting up my spring campaign and I'm plowing through the Kharkov region right now. It'd be great if you could distract them so I could really just finish my work. And Xi's probably saying, hey, that sounds good. You depleted the United States a lot by now. Why don't we go ahead and do our thing? Who knows what they're talking about? But they'll probably throw in some trade talk in there. Like, hey, China, buy some more of my Russian oil. And, hey, China's probably saying, hey, Russia, why don't you buy some more of our electronic gadgets? Everybody's happy. One thing you notice from this video that you're looking at here is the Putin got a much grander entrance or reception than Blinken did. Yes, he's a head of state, but look at the difference he got between the two countries and the reception they got in China. So that should tell you something right there. Let's move along here to a couple of the bookmarks. We see here that, Ukraine's been sending ATACMs. We just gave them all those long-range ATACMs. They've been sending them into Crimea. They're attacking an air base. The Belbek air base is on fire. They hit it pretty hard. The air defense didn't stop many of those ATACMs, so that's been happening over the last day or so. And then we have Israel, attacking places in Hezbollah, southern Lebanon. You can kind of see some of the stuff going on here. See if we can make it a little bigger. Not really. But you can kind of see that, they're launching more attacks into there, and more stuff happening over there in Hezbollah with Lebanon. The Rafah still under, Lebanon really hasn't gone full into Rafah yet. Let me shrink this down. But they're looking to do that as well. The United States said, we're going to hold back some munitions if you do that. Well, that was just a blatant lie or something, because, just today, Biden's all, here's another $1 billion worth of weapons. I have no idea if that's on top of the $61 billion we already sent, but, they're giving them another $1 billion more. Who knows? Israel's getting some more also. I don't know if it's on top of the $26 billion we gave them. It's hard to keep track of all this, as they just keep giving away more money. Then what do we have here? We got another ship hitting a bridge and knocking it down. Let me blow this up for you here. This is a barge. It hit a bridge, knocked out the train tracks. I don't know if we're just seeing more of this now because the news is reporting on it more. So I don't know if that's what's happening. But as you can see, that train's going to be out of, commission for a while. And what else do we have? Let's see. We got some more looks of it here. Didn't seem to impact the road bridge, but they'll probably close it to assess if it's, okay for cars to drive on. It goes to a small island, I heard. Not a crucial thoroughfare way like the one in Baltimore with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, but still, why are ships hitting all these bridges? Like I said, did it happen before we didn't notice, or is this something new? This is one more photo of it here. So that's the stuff I didn't have planned on to show you before I started this. I wanted to throw it in there. And let's move on to space weather. As we do that, please like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Definitely liking and commenting helps the YouTube algorithm, helps us get out more to more people, which is the whole goal of my channel here, is to grow the community and share with you. So if you could just say something in the comments, that'd be great. Like it as well. But, so that big sunspot group, it has rotated out of view. It gave us a departing shot yesterday, another CME coming from that. And just today, we have another one. You can see from the video going on right here. This is an X2.9 of an incoming spot. And let's see, I'll blow this guy up. It's from these incoming spots here. Was it 3682? Blow it up a little bit. And that's what just threw off the next X class. So that's going to be, for the next two weeks, we're going to be looking at all these sunspot groups here and see what they do. It takes about 2 weeks for a sunspot to go from the left side to the right side. And so You know, we in for a lot more X-class flares? Maybe. Maybe this is a build-up of something bigger. We shall see. Also, the giant sunspot that was giving us all those CMEs last week, if it survives, you know, doesn't collapse, degrade, it will come back around in about 2 weeks, and we'll see what's going on with that. You can see the video here. Very long duration. There's also a very long duration M-class flare. It lasted hours that put a lot of ionization into the Earth, causing radio frequency problems. And all this energy that gets into the Earth is going to have to be released in the form of volcanoes, earthquakes, crazy weather. So you're going to see a lot of that coming up. Just keep your eyes open when you start hearing about it. That's most likely what's coming from. Moving on from that, this is the bridge. I already looked at that. Skip that. We have, well, the Slovakian Prime Minister was as an assassination attempt on him today. He was out doing some, visiting some political offices. I don't know what he was out doing, but he's out doing his thing, whatever prime ministers do. And this gentleman here, you can see the photos of here. He's on the ground, actually, was the one that fired handgun at him, shot him in the chest, arm, all that. Been in surgery. We don't have a pronouncement if he's made it through, survived, died, anything like that. He was just flown to a hospital. That's all we've heard so far, but as soon as I heard this, what comes to mind? World War II, Archduke Ferdinand, how started, the assassination of him. Is this what we've got going on here with the assassination of the Slovak Prime Minister, Fico? It's either Fico or FICO. I don't know how he pronounces it, to tell you the truth, but, is this going to be the same type of thing? I don't know. He was anti-Ukrainian NATO and joining NATO. He was anti-WHO. A few other things, so all the conspiracies are starting up about why that person, wanted to take him out. So big news happening on that front, but we got more to cover, and we're going to get into Ukraine here. We, just like I said earlier, when I was talking about Putin going to China, Russia's been pounding Ukraine in more ways than one. They've been taking land over here by Kharkov right here. They've been taking all this newly acquired land. It's like, I don't know, 9, 12 small towns. They're pursuing fast. There wasn't much resistance. We're going to get into an article in a minute. Why there wasn't any resistance, really. They just kind of walked in. But you can see, I'll blow out the region a little bit, and you can see where they're at. This is Kiev here. This is the region Russia's advancing. They're also doing some work around Zaporizhia going forward. And look for them to come over here to Odessa. They're going to want to take Odessa. So look for them to come through land or naval landing to take that. So that's what Putin's got on. It's going very well for Russia right now. The Ukrainians are retreating. They really need to think about surrendering because they're not kicking Russia out of what we have here. French is sending people in. Estonia said today they want to send troops. Yeah, that's going to go over well. But anyway, Russia's been pounding away at the Ukrainians here. And what's Ukrainian do? Attacking Crimea. Maybe they should focus up here if they want to actually do something, but they're not. They're focused on blowing stuff up in Crimea. I don't know what their tactics are, but it makes no sense. But here we see the Ukrainian military stole money intended for fortifications, said the local media. It says military and civilian authorities in Ukraine's Kharkov region paid millions of dollars to fake companies to supply non-existent building materials to construct defensive fortifications. Russia has seized dozens of towns and villages in the northern part of Kharkov region after launching their offensive on Friday, and they're still at it. So, as I've been telling you, and most of you know, we thought most of that billions of dollars over there being laundered, turned into yachts and mansions, and feeding the rich and the elite over there. And well, I know this is coming out of RT, but it's been corroborated. That's what's happening. There were no defensive lines put in, no positions, because all that money, went to fake companies, and who knows where it is now? Probably offshore and some other, offshore bank accounts, whatever. But that's why Russia's having an easy go at it up there. Moving on from that, we see, when I say Russia was pounding in more ways than one, we're talking about infrastructure. This is 2 days ago, 1 day ago, I believe. It's Lviv on the border with Poland. It went dark. In fact, there was national blackouts of the electricity grid because Russia's taking out the grid. They're taking out the water. They're taking out the rail system. They're not messing around this time. Russia's like, we're just going to end this, I think, this spring and summer. We're going to try to end this. We're going to get Ukraine to bend the knee because now we're taking out all the infrastructure, all the utilities, and they're going to make it hurt. So that's what Russia's up to over there. And then we have here that the EU is, switching to a wartime economy. They're on track to produce 2 million shells per year for Ukraine. And when you start going on your wartime economy, it's not because you're just helping out Ukraine. You think war is coming to you, to the EU, to the European Union. So basically, this is us telling us that they think the war is going to expand. They're starting the war economy, getting it rolling. In fact, the United States just announced, I don't know if I have the article here or not, we'll see, but I don't think I do. But I read, they're bunker busting bombs. They're making like one a month. They're going to like triple production. And you're not doing that if you're not planning on using them pretty much in the near future here. So look for some bunker busting bombs to be used pretty soon, because you're not just doing that to spur the economy and employ people. And then we have this. This is great here. Blinken. He went over to Kiev, for the $61 billion deal, announced that, and talked to everybody. And, like I said, Russia's advancing through Kharkov region, blowing away the infrastructure. And, Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, he's playing the guitar, jamming out at a concert, singing Rockin' to the Free World. I think it was by Neil Young. So it's a huge juxtaposition. This administration has no idea what they're doing, what the look of this is, what the feel this is. You're rocking out about freedom, and yet, the country's falling, basically. Also, talk about the freedom, in Ukraine, you can't film any damage. You can't film people getting conscripted, thrown into vans, or you go to jail. We're rocking to a free world when, Ukraine is not really a free place as it is right now anyway. Not just because of the Russians, but because of the current administration and the military law, the, what do I want to call it, the martial law they got in there, all that good stuff. All those keywords that YouTube hates, so make sure you hit that like and comment, because I'm throwing out a ton of keywords in this video, so the old algorithm's going to hate me. Now we'll see this. We're going to switch out to China here. So this was yesterday. Biden came out and said, I just imposed a series of tariffs on goods made in China. 25% on steel and aluminum. Okay. Costs going to go up. Hello, inflation, right? 50% on semiconductors. Those cheap Chinese chips that go into a lot of electronics, getting more expensive. 100% tariff on electrical vehicles, EVs. Not sure what Chinese EVs are over here, or if there's any. I don't know if that's a big deal or not. This is a huge one, though. 50% on solar panels. So, when they say he did this because China is determined to dominate these industries. Well, maybe we should have manufacturing here in the United States. Maybe the United States should try to dominate by manufacturing things instead of offshoring everything. But, he's trying to punish them. But these solar panels, so if you're looking to get solar panels, are you looking to put up a little off-grid system, your bug out location, anything like that, you might want to think about getting the panels that are here now, because they haven't paid that tariff, and they're going to be a lot cheaper. A 50% tariff, you're going to see the prices of solar panels starting to skyrocket. So get what you can now if that was your plan. If you have the extra funds, you might want to drop it now, because, 50% tariff, is it on purpose to make those more expensive? I don't know, but get what you need now. Everything's going to be going up. Staying on with China. Yesterday, 45 aircraft and 6 naval vessels were found around Taiwan, in their exclusive zone, they call it. And some crossed the median line. This says here in Inner Taiwan's northern and southwestern air defense identification zone. 45 is a huge number. Yeah, it's a big number. It's the biggest they've seen this year, maybe in 2 years. So is it just because Taiwan's doing the inauguration of the new president? Is it because China's ramping up? Is it because Putin went over to China, so they decided this? I don't know. I'll post on X today. I get these reports every day about how many come across, but 45 is a huge number. So got to look on China trying to ramp up things. Got just a couple stories left. This is it. This is interesting here. It says Chinese company X Robots began producing humanoid robots in 2016 and specializes in intelligent bionic humanoid robot research. Okay, that's great and all, but check this out. Let me just fire this up really quick. So, we got these robots. What can these robots... Are we headed towards Terminator? Is that where we're going here? Pretty soon with Skynet and everything. Robots reading a book. I don't know if it's actually reading it or doing it, but now we have a knife and we're chopping. So my mind's going on this. They can they're handling a weapon, a knife, chopping things up. So what else they can chop? They're very delicate. It can feed you too. Look at that. But what else can they do with the delicate moves? And finally, do you see that thing that flashed by really quickly? Let me go back to it, because they threw it in there, but only for a few seconds, but they wanted you to see it. There you go. We got a robot with a, kinetic weapon. Basically there. Yes, it's looks plastic and laser, but if we're going to have robots handling weapons like this, and they're training them, marketing them, we're going to have a robot soldier force soon. Instead of a billion Chinese coming at you you know, in the military. They're also going to have hundreds of thousands of mechanized soldiers. I don't know, but very interesting that they talk about this and they throw that clip in at the very last minute, you know, last few seconds, they toss in the robot holding the weapon. So found that very interesting, but look for this on the battlefield, you know, why not? Lastly, we have this. I'm sure most of you have seen this, but this is the new painting for King Charles. And it was commissioned, and you know, put in the comments below what your first thought is. My first thought is, why is Prince Charles coming through the fires of hell like a demon at me? Why isn't there a butterfly on his shoulder? And then you also see some posts on X where they mirrored this image and put them next to each other. And there's like a picture of the devil that shows up to some people and some other demons and things. Very crazy things. Check it out. Let me know what you think. But all the other kings that have their portraits, they're dressed in prestigious clothing. You know, the king is staying there in his castle. Very elegant, you know, painting. And then we have this. Is that the state of the world we're in? I don't know, but as soon as I saw that, I'm like, this is like demonic. This is, you know, the king coming through the fires of hell. I don't know, but I found that crazy. I thought I'd end that with the last. So I know I've been going on for a while. A lot of stuff happened, like I said. Probably more stuff's happened since I even put this out. Silver. Silver is almost, let me see if I can pull it up while we're talking real quick. Silver is almost hit $30. And that's the mark that people have been looking for. Let me put this up for you really quick here. Let me get rid of that. So we can see it right now. Silver's at $29.66. A lot of people in the silver world, the silver bugs, gold bugs, silver apes, whatever you want to call them, are thinking when silver hits 30, it's the new floor, it's the new base, and it's going to take off from there. $29.66 is very close. So yeah, I mean, that'd be exciting times if you're a metal holder, and you might want to turn some of your fiat into metals, all kinds of metals, gold, brass, lead, all that stuff. Not financial advice, of course, but you know, it might be something to look at and do. So anyway, that's all I have for you. Hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.